Yamcha. Hands down the character that gets joked on the most out of any other anime character in existence. After facing death and humiliation multiple times throughout his life, he ended up becoming a background character and basically completely stopped fighting as a whole. Even when it came down to the tournament of power, a lot of OG fighters joined the team, but yet he was left out. Even though he didn't continue his training, but neither did Krillin, but he did get his own short training arc. It just seemed that Yamcha could have never catched a break. Hey, what's up guys, I'm Rathel. Before we get into the video, leave a comment down with your personal opinion on the Desert Bandit. And before we get into the video, the question of the video is from Alina-XJ3IG. Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan 4, which one do you prefer? I know I'm gonna get some backlash from this, but I prefer Super Saiyan God. Not the blue form, just the red form, the OG form. Mainly because I don't know why, but I really like how when they become the Super Saiyan God, they have a much more leaner physique compared to their normal body. And I don't know why, like the whole eye, the aura stuff, and then like how they just get more leaner when they become Super Saiyan God, it's just more visually pleasing to me, and I like that form a lot more. I mean, Super Saiyan 4 is a great form, no doubt, but to me, Super Saiyan God is over Super Saiyan 4. But if it was blue, I would say Super Saiyan 4 over blue. But that's just my opinion. Thank you so much for the comment. If you want your comment to be featured in the next video, just comment down a question you would like for me to answer, and you may be lucky enough to get your comment featured in the next video. First appearing early on in the Dragon Ball series, Yamcha first was known as a Desert Bandit and was an antagonist for a short time, as he would rob people that crossed his path. Until he met Goku and Bulma. He would end up following them with the intentions of stealing their Dragon Balls to make his own wish, but ended up joining the crew, with the rest being history for Yamcha, being a part of the Z Fighters. Now Yamcha, in practically every fight he has ever been in, he has lost or died in humiliating ways. I can't even think of a fight where he won. The closest thing in mind is when he first fought Goku, which technically you could say he won, but that was just because Goku wasn't at his fullest, and even then he still almost lost to a hungry Goku. Throughout the entire history of Dragon Ball, Yamcha was just repeatedly joked on and was just a joke character, but never really had his chance to redeem him or prove himself. I would say that even all of his losses in fights or deaths aren't even the worst part of what he has experienced. I would give that moment to Bulma dropping him completely for Vegeta, basically the reason he ended up dying in the first place. That could be the biggest "she's busy little bro" text he could have ever received. In my opinion, after that whole situation, that should have given him the motivation to aim to become stronger and be the strongest human. I know he tried using the gravity chamber and that backfired completely, and he quit soon after, which some people found funny, but you have to realize why he didn't continue to train in the gravity chamber. Already at this point, Yamcha's confidence has been completely shattered, with losing to Goku, having his leg broken by Tien, losing the tournament in a humiliating way, and being the only one to die by a Cyberman. Yamcha has been through so many losses, he loses the motivation to keep on being a fighter. His character is just sad. I mean, I know everyone has their limits till they break. Even then, after quitting being a fighter, he made a name for himself without being a fighter. It just sucks how he never got the chance to prove himself to be a good fighter, until in the Super manga during the Moro arc. But even then, other people had other moments besides that. You all may be asking, Rathel, why are you so passionate about Yamcha as a character? Well, first off, he is my favorite human, as I do show it a lot sometimes in my What If. Second, he has been done so dirty in the main story, which is why in my What Ifs I usually tend to shine light on him. But the most important part is that honestly, he could have been the best character to make all the fans relate to the most and even motivate people. I know people like Goku and Vegeta motivate people already, but hear me out. In the world of Dragon Ball where the strongest people are mainly aliens, humans are already downplayed. Yes, we get moments with Tien, Roshi, and Krillin is the most relatable human that the fans can get behind, as he faced massive threats that were out of his league and showed realistic fear, but he did try even when he was outclassed. I am not trying to downplay Krillin, but the thing is that Yamcha has those same characteristics, but the only downside is how cocky he can be. But hear me out, stacking up on Yamcha's character, he also faced extreme humiliating losses in his life. If Dragon Ball was written that gave other characters more meaningful developments, they could have easily made Yamcha the best, if not one of the most motivational characters. Can you imagine after the Cell games, with the world losing its best defender, and all the defeats he has taken in his life, he decided to train vigorously for 7 years, wanting to redeem himself, becoming the strongest or on par with Tien for the title of strongest human, then having a moment against Buu with Tien or on his own. Hell, we could even stretch to Tien and Yamcha fusing in the Buu saga, just something that shows how much Yamcha has changed as a character, trying to better himself. Moving to Super, being a part of the Tournament of Power to show how much he has grown, seeing a character who was at the bottom of the barrel to being a well-respected as a fighter, giving him a sort of underdog story. I know he was given a little love in the manga during the Moro arc, and in the sideshow of Super Dragon Ball Heroes, but that just feels like a pity development after all these years of being clowned on. I mean, his death pose is recreated in so many other animes, and I know I sound like a diehard Yamcha fanboy, but I just can't help but feel bad for him. Krillin and Tien had their own moments and even a comeback, but they ditched Yamcha completely. Goku openly chose someone who wanted to kill him twice, hell, the same guy who basically killed everyone but was lucky enough to have Whis fix it all, rather than one of his own friends. I know the universe was at stake, but still, that had to hurt Yamcha. I just feel like if the character was done right, he could have been the most motivational character in the show. Someone who is a basic human and with nothing special about them and losing so much in life, still kept pushing onwards to make something of themselves. A character like that in Dragon Ball would be amazing, and Yamcha would be the perfect person to fill that role like that. I could be crazy to say that he could be more motivating than Goku and Vegeta, mainly because of the fact that he is a human, and us as the viewers would be able to relate to him a lot more because of the realism that could have been added to this character. Can you imagine like Yamcha after growing to become stronger, he actually earns the respect of Vegeta? I mean, even though he wouldn't really work for it, but like, can you imagine like a Saiyan like Vegeta, as prideful as he is, giving props to Yamcha after seeing how he was when he first met to him becoming a lot more powerful if he trained and all that? That's just a moment that could have been really nice to see. It's fair though, as most characters in Dragon Ball never got crazy character development unless you are a Saiyan, or any type of strong fighter. Yamcha really just experienced the worst things during his life, and most out of the whole cast. Okay, maybe not as bad as future Trunks and future Gohan, but you get what I mean. He went through so much, yet his character doesn't fully develop as someone who has been through all those low points in his life. If only he knew how he could solo most other anime verses, and yes, I'm saying that with full confidence. I guess it will remain a mystery of what type of character Yamcha could have been if he was written off of his losses. You know what else is a mystery? Gohan's beast form. Here's a video where I talked about the possible origin of the form. Go check it out if you haven't already. Leave a comment under this video seeing if your thoughts on Yamcha had changed with what I had to say. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video. See ya.